In this series, called 30-Minute Masterpieces, we explore artworks that can be completed within a 40-minute class period. Welcome to Painting with Janine Liza. Materials. You're going to need a black piece of Bristol board or cardstock with some paper towel that's going to be placed just above the center, in the center of the cardstock underneath. So just about here. Going to use 2 paper plates, one square and one circle, some wax paper, some water, and for tools we will need a toothbrush, a small paintbrush, and a larger flat paintbrush, plus some paper towel. I'm also going to be using a push pin, just one. For paints, I'm using 4 out of 5 of my neon acrylic colors. I'll use yellow and pink, and I'll probably use orange and blue, plus black and white acrylic. And the last item is masking tape. I'm going to start by putting tape vertically on the paper, and this is to define areas that will be trees in our scene. As I place the tape, I'm going to double check that my paper towel is just above the center, in the center, for use later. And then I'm going to secure the tape down to the table a little on, of course, the protective sheeting, because this is going to be a mucky painting, so we're going to need protective sheeting on the table underneath, either wax paper or plastic sheet. I don't recommend newspaper because we're using acrylic paint and the newspaper could tear and stick and cause a bit more mess. So I'm placing these strips of masking tape, but I'm putting some where there's 1 strip for a thinner tree and 2 strips that are sort of close together or further apart to kind of vary the sizes of the trees, the thickness of the trees. Now I'm just pressing the tape on the edges to make sure that it prevents paint from getting underneath. I'm going to find the spot where the paper towel is and then pick a spot that would be an equal distance from the edge of the page as the edge of the base of the round plate would be to the center of the plate. And I'm going to place some white paint here and some vibrant colors. Yellow, orange, pink, and a little bit of blue. Now to prepare the round paper plate, I'm going to find the center of it and carefully poke a hole without poking my fingers through the center. There we go. And now I'm going to find where that paper towel is, and just about in the middle of it, having the top of the plate around the top of the page, like the base of the plate, is about right. And now I'm going to gently press and then turn the plate around anti-clockwise, then clockwise, and then fully around, turning the plate. I'm just checking to see how much paint is under the base. If it's visible, I know that it has fully spread all around the base of the plate. Okay, it's about time to lift the plate. So I'll remove the pin, put that safely somewhere, and gently lift. And let's see how it looks. Wow! Look at that, there's even a little heart in the middle. I love it. Now there's still paint on the plate, and we're going to use this at the sides. Let's just lift this and then the other side also. There we go. Nothing's wasted. Just gently turn that a little. Wow, look at the cool designs. I love it. So I'm just taking a large brush and dabbing up in the corner where the circles sort of left a gap. Just a little bit up there in the corner. And then where I see there's a sort of a gouge from the plate, I'm just dabbing a little bit of paint from the bottom of the plate on. I'm not covering the whole circle, just touching that spot there with the edge of the plate. This is not covering the whole of the previous circle. Okay, just releasing a bit of paint there, and we'll leave it just like that now. Now we're going to use the square plate, and this can be a little bit mucky, but so much fun. So this is where you want to make sure you do have that protective table cover on, and also move your tools and supplies out of the way a little bit, especially on the right side. So I just squirted some white paint on the wax paper. You'll notice there's quite a lot of white and then a little bit of blue at the top, and then a little bit of yellow at the top, and this is like in a rectangular shape, and a little bit of orange. And this is about the width of the square paper plate. And now I just add a little more white as well. So now we're going to place this paper plate on the paint, so the top half of the paper plate is covering that paint. I'm just going to take a look now, and this is going to be used for the bottom half of the painting. It's going to be an area of snow, and the colors at the top are like a reflection of the sky. So I'm just going to place this back on here and then smudge the plate up so that the entire base of the plate is covered in paint. You see it there? And now I'm going to place it down and slide it across the paper. So I need to move these things out of the way, but they'll move. So here we go. We're just going to slide it across like a giant palette knife. And up. Now you're going to have some muck there at the side that you can just wipe up with some tissue and paper towel. And I'm just going to leave it like that, besides cleaning up a little bit here. I love the way it looks. I just love how the brightness coming from the top half looks like it's reflecting on the snow on the bottom half. And as we remove the tape, it's really going to feel more like a scene where you have some trees and you have a beautiful snow scene with almost an otherworldly sky. It would be up to the individual to decide if they want to remove the tape while the paint is still wet or when it's dry. I do find with acrylic paint, if I wait until it's dry, it sometimes won't remove in such a smooth fashion. Sometimes the paint, because it dries like plastic, it will kind of tear the tape, but then it will tear into the painting as well. After removing the tape, I just want to take a moment to just stare at this piece, because it was so simple to create with just paper plates, and yet I just love how beautiful it looks. Now I'm going to take a little bit of black paint on the small brush, and I'm going to just sort of add a little bit of shape to the edges of the trees so they don't look so sort of straight like metal poles. They look more natural, like the texture of bark. These lines will be slightly wavy. Now that the trees are complete, I'm going to add some falling snow. First, using my handy art toothbrush with some acrylic paint, followed by my large flat brush, just spattering white specks all over the paper to look like snow. I think I'll call this one the paper plate landscape. This artwork is now complete. I've really enjoyed creating it. Thank you for viewing it and or trying it out. If you'd like to find similar classes to this one, please go to Art with Janine Liza on YouTube.